Guys, welcome to the PPL Season 2 draft analysis for the Immunity Idols and Coach Bounty. That's me. Yeah, I'll be the first to admit it, guys. First video in a while. I took a little hiatus. And if you're a fan of the channel and you've been like, what the hell? What happened to Mounte? Sorry about that, but I'm back. Around the time I did my last video, I had just joined a showdown league, draft league, that Smogon was hosting. And it was like a team tour, so it was very involved. Because not only are you prepping for your game, you're helping out like upwards of like 6 or 7 other people. So it just took up a bunch of my time, and I just decided to focus on that instead of doing videos. That wrapped up pretty recently, maybe like a month ago or so at this point. Unfortunately, my team did not make playoffs. We had a good team, but it came down to the last week. We actually played against Finchinator's team, and his team beat us, so we failed to make playoffs, and then his team ended up winning the whole thing. But it was a lot of fun, and yeah, so I just took a little break from videos, but I'm back now that the DLC has dropped. Some new leagues are starting up, like the PPL, if you've heard of it, guys. So yeah, Jack invited me back, and happy to be here, So today we're gonna break down my team, and let me tell you, guys, my team is fucking crazy. It's crazy good. You'll probably have seen the thumbnail. I'm probably gonna feature a few mods, and you'll be like, "Wow, how did he get these mods?" If you somehow didn't see the thumbnail, well, guess what? Let's see. First mod, Spectre, as the French say. Spectre. What was I? I think I was 3rd pick. And there were some wild mons being allowed in this league. Speed Boost Blaziken, namely, was one. I think I passed over that for this guy, or I think Jack took Blaziken right before me. Regardless, guys, this mon, among a few others, probably shouldn't be allowed. Maybe this will change my mind. But yeah, this mon's broken. It's got better from Gen 8. If you're not aware of how this mon works, it's basically a super fast ghost type, but it's like way stronger than Dragapult. And it has a special version of Moxie, so every time I get a kill, I get a special attack boost for free. So this thing can seriously snowball out of control. However, it's very lacking in coverage. So historically, it's always struggled with dark types, and can barely touch normal types. So very limited in that sense. But as of Gen 9, it got Draining Kiss, which is huge. The recovery and stuff is nice with like Calm Mind sets, but mainly you have the opportunity to hit dark types now for like decent damage. And this mon with like Will-O-Wisp and Calm Mind, it can set up against its checks fairly easily sometimes. So, even your bulky normal may not be a good switch in. The mon is just very threatening. So I'm excited to use it. I had it once in Gen 8. Did okay with it. I made semifinals in that league, but I was a bit disappointed. It had just come out, and I didn't realize how limited it was by its lack of coverage, but that's kind of been fixed now, so we'll see what happens. Next mon is Sneasler. Sneasler's arguably a round 1 pick. I mean, it is, but we had a lot of mons available, especially with the DLC. This guy got skipped over, and so I was going to grab a fighting type here regardless, because Spectre, what does it struggle with? Dark types and normal types, right? And so fighting, naturally, you want a really good fighting type on your team that's going to come to like every game. to threaten those guys. This mon just has a lot going for it, you know? It has Unburden, so it can be like extremely fast and sweep. It's even good just with like Choice Band with Poison, what's the other ability? Poison Touch, which is cool. Like U-turn, poison a dude on the way out, hit him for big damage. There's some cool sets. Dire Claw is like really like a broken move. And it kind of pairs well with Spectre because if I get a status with Dire Claw, it powers up Hex from Spectre, so that's nice. So very happy to get Sneasler. Next mon, I got Chiu. I get the triple Ubers. These guys, none of these guys are allowed no U, but they're allowed in draft, baby. Chiu, I think it matches up, or it pairs really well with Spectre because, well, they both hit on the special side exclusively, and there won't be any physical attacks from either of these mons. But to check Chiu, you probably need your best special wall. And so if Chiu is breaking the best special wall on my opponent's team, then that opens the door for Spectre. Especially because dark types are generally a decent check to Chiu because they resist dark. So if Chiu can bust up the specially defensive dark type on my opponent's team, really opens the door for Spectre. And it's just a great like breaker. Just insane breaker. So I'm excited to use it. Next we got the GOAT Blastoise. This is probably my favorite mon of all time. I used it a couple times in Gen 8. I won a championship with it at one point. And it's just really good. It's my hazard control, bulky water, and it could even be my offensive water type because it has the move Shell Smash. Now granted, Blastoise is pretty weak, with like pretty middling attacking stats, but it can attack on either side, and it has Wave Crash now, so its physical sets are actually pretty threatening. And yeah, it's got momentum with Flip Turn, priority with Aqua Jet, Rapid Spin, like I said. Did I say that? I think I did. Can phase with Dragon Tail. It's a really good mon, and I'm excited that I got it. And then round 5, I got Reloom. Reloom is still around, and I'm looking at Sneasler here, and I'm like, well, might as well get a terrain setter. I was thinking about getting Indeedee just later in the draft, but Reloom is just, it's a mon that's going to come to like most games, whereas Indeedee maybe not so much. I don't know. So yeah, Reloom plus Sneasler is just a really good combo. Get a little grassy terrain for Spectre, which it appreciates a lot. And yeah, force people to run like high horsepower, which will help with you know, Chiu and friggin' Sneasler. Not that it really helps them eat a hit. Maybe Sneasler after a defense boost, it would help. But the nice thing about forcing high horsepower is 1, Rocky Helmet takes effect because it's a contact move. And 2, it can miss. And it's weaker. So 3 positives. No one likes facing Earthquake, guys. Yeah, I've used Reloom a lot. I like it. And it fits the team really well. Next, I got Diancie. Diancie, I wanted Diancie because I wanted a fairy type. And I also wanted a hazard setter because I had my eyes on a specific ground type in the next round, which does not get hazards. Usually your ground type is one of your hazard setters. In this case, it won't be. So yeah, Diancie seemed to fit the bill. It's good mon, potential Terra captain. It's very good with Terra actually. I didn't actually Terra it though, and I'll explain why later. But the option's always there if I want to change it throughout the season. Good bulky mon, but also potential offensive threat. You can go offensive Trick Room, Body Press, like Iron Defense Body Press, or even Diamond Storm Body Press, because you get the chance to double your defense every time you use Diamond Storm. So, neat little mon there. Next, that's right, Saluna, baby. Saluna gives me a very strong physical breaker. Basically matches Chiu's power, if not exceeds it, with Facade. But on the physical side. It's a ground type that has a move that isn't Earthquake, which I can spam. Because I don't want a ground type that only has Earthquake with Rillaboom on the team. But this mon gets the special signature move, which name escapes me. The ground type close combat. You know what I'm saying, guys? Oh, what is it? It's really bothering me. You know what I'm saying. I'll flash it on the screen during editing. So it gets that, and hey, you know what? I just picked up a Trick Room mon in Diancie, so get ready to get wrecked, everybody. Next we have my first Terra Captain, Galvantula. Nice little speed tier for me between Chiu and Spectre, or Chiu and Sneasler, I guess, in this case. Yeah, this mon was like, we had a Terra budget. My next mon will be the more expensive of the Terra mons, and I had a bit left over and thought Galvantula would fit the bill pretty well. Yeah, Terra Ice lets it hit like dragon types and grass types, even though it does have Bug Buzz. Some mons are gonna just be neutral against Bug Buzz because Bug has a million resist, so Ice is kind of helpful for that. And ground helps me hit the opposing electric types, so like Belly Bolt or something, you know, or like a Arcalodon, which would wall basically any other move that I have, something like that. Yeah, and a Sticky Web Setter. lest we forget, Sticky Web Setter, which would really bump up the value of Chiu specifically. Chiu with Sticky Webs is an extremely dangerous combo. Even a fast Ursaring with Sticky Webs is very dangerous. And next I have Mesprit. This was my more expensive Terra Captain. The reason it's a great Terra Captain, so I chose Psychic Steel Fairy. Steel is very nice as a defensive type because I have Levitate, and you basically get a Steel type that is immune to ground, one of its main weaknesses. Mesprit got better with the new DLC. It got Pain Split, and it just has an amazing defensive toolkit in general. Healing Wish, you know, utility moves with like rocks and knockoff U-turn. But it can also be offensive and kind of abuse the Terra Fairy type. You can do Nasty Plot or Calm Mind with Terra Fairy Draining Kiss, and it's gonna basically heal up on you as it hurts you. It's very hard to beat an already bulky mon that's doing that with Stab Draining Kiss. So Mesprit really filled a specific niche. I think I was considering Bronzong at this point because I don't have a Steel type, but I thought, fuck it, I'll just have Steel Mesprit instead. And I can do a bunch more things. Nice Future Sight into Sneasler potentially, you know, another Trick Room mon for Ursaring. It's just a great mon for the value, I think. And then lastly, I had 1 point left, and you needed at least 10 mons. So my 10th and final mon, we have Squawkabilly, baby. Big Billy style, up in this bitch. He's very strong with Sheer Force or Guts. Pretty good speed, I think base 92. Gets Intimidate if you want to run more defensive set. You could even do Scarf Final Gambit if you just want to eliminate Mon right off the bat. This Mon for 1 point I think is actually underpriced. Yeah, it gives me another ground immunity as well, which is nice for my team. So it seemed like a natural fit. And that's the roster. This is probably the most broken team I've ever drafted. There are, you know, a weakness or two that exist, which I won't get into because my rivals are watching this. But yeah, I love the team, and really excited to use it. And I think it's got championship potential. And I'm gunning for it this time around. I lost in the first round last season after being first overall in the regular season. And for me, unacceptable. I really want to win this whole thing, and I'm going to be focused and bring my A game. So stay tuned.